But also I will talk about this from two perspectives, from a developer point of view and business point of view, company point of view, because as far as I understand, not everyone here in the meeting is a developer, so it will not gonna be super technical or heavy on the code side. It will be more on the concepts to help you take a decision into like, I want to explore this more, or now I have a base understanding, and it will and it helps me to take a decision. So when we try to discuss Web3, the term 3 indicate that we have Web 1 and Web 2 before it. So let's go back in the history and look at what is Web 1. Web 1 is the first stage of the internet as we, if we have been there at that time, but it was mostly static. Basically, someone create a website, it puts content on it. You can create a website somehow if you are not technically heavy, but it was way too complicated. And this is from the point of the information. From the point of the money, it wasn't integrated in Web 1 at all. Like the money still in the cash or credit and debit card at the best. But we moved into the second stage of the web. We call it Web 2. Web 2 here represents the social networks as we know it. When the content creation process moved from static or one direction, someone creates content to the masses creating content. You name it, videos, images, text, and discussing board. This started from the early days of forums, if you were there in this era, but also this is on the information side. On the money side, we started to integrate money in the web, like using PayPal, using payment gateways. The early days was a little bit rough, better like more than today's, but it started to be in the space, like money can be transferred over internet. Now we are talking about Web 3, which is the next level. Instead of a static content or a social network that's controlled by a company, it's decentralized by nature, so everyone can create anything and distribute it. Everyone can access the content that was created by anyone. The censorship and decentralization are two of the most used keywords when we talk about Web3. And the money side there is like it was the infrastructure of Web3. Because all of this is built on the technology based on the blockchain, which is a database that handles financial transactions. So in Web3, the money came first, then the content on top of it, and the decentralization concepts and so on. So this is like a brief definition for Web3 and a history and the look on what's Web2 and Web 1. So the characteristics that we talked about is the centralized web. Proof of ownership is something that comes only through Web3. Previously, if you wanted to see if someone owns the digital copy of the ebook on their laptop, you couldn't verify this unless they come up with a receipt for the purchase and they can say, I lost it. But through Web3, the proof of ownership is implicit in the network itself, because there is a distributed web and distributed database, you can say, that tracks and records every transaction that happens. So if you buy something, it's there listed and for anyone to look at. And as we said, that money implicitly integrated in everything. It was the infrastructure for this stage of the web.